Alright, this is two parts. This area over here is the clock for the 6502 microchip. And so here I will be explaining just a bit of how this clock works. This right here, what the pencil is pointing to, is a 555 timer. And what this will be doing is producing a continuous signal. This capacitor here is going to hold the charge and then release it, so that we have less of just a complete blitz of signals. And this right here is a resistor that I can control, like pretty much how much it resists the current. And so with this, I can control how fast our clock is. And so as our current would move through here, I have a little button here that's so whenever I switch this into a separate mode I have, which is called manual, instead of this chip being relied on to produce the current, this button will just instead provide the voltage so that it can make things a lot easier to read through and process, as it can be really helpful to break things down into specific steps instead of just trying to slow it down. And so this is another 555 timer here. And what this little area is for is just cleaning up our signal so that we don't get any, how to call it, pretty much any copies of our current going through. This here is the button that switches between our automatic and manual modes. And then this down here is kind of what puts it all together to go into our chip. So here we have an inverter. Here we have an and then this is an OR. And so basically our current is going to be going through these logic gates. And the result of that is going to be pulled over into our chip. This blue LED here will be showing us whenever, regardless of whether we are in manual or automatic, it will be showing the rate at which our clock will be quote-unquote ticking. This yellow LED will be on regardless, and this is a helpful sign not only that we have power going through and something hasn't gone wrong, but that it's a good example of how this by itself couldn't provide the current for our clock. And so this here will be a demonstration . And so right now we are in a pretty slow mode, as controlled by this little variable resistor here. And as I bring this way, we are going to slow down. And then as I take it clockwise, we are going to speed up. And not only is this kind of neat, but if we want to try to, it gives us a really nice degree of control. And so you may notice that this light, our blue LED here, is not on, and that's because we are in manual mode. If we were to go into automatic mode, then they will blink in sync. Going back to manual mode, we can press this button, and every time I press this button, we're ignoring this because our signal is coming through this button.